Everybody, welcome back. And for those of you guys that are new, my name's Brad. I own a multi-million-dollar practice here in Texas in primary care. And today I wanted to talk about how I just never dreamed I would get as big as I am and how you probably need to dream bigger. And I need to even follow my own advice. All right, for those of you guys that are new, I'm about to open my 5th location in January 5th. And at this point in time, it is mid-November of me making this video. So 5 locations. That's insane. I remember when I first had my business partner join me, I went to Baylor, and on my Baylor Facebook group of my graduating year, I said, look, I started primary care. It's in Texas. I'm killing it. I'm busy as could be. Is there anyone who wants to join me? My business partner, she drove from Dallas to where I'm at. We had one meeting, sold her house, moved everything down here, and was like, I'm all in. Let's do it. So I have no other business partners, no debt, no outside involvement. It's just me and her. Her name is Gail. And when Gail joined me, initially, her number one question was, Brad, what the hell do you want to do with this? Like, do you want to do a micro practice? Like, do you want to grow this really big? What's your 5, 10, 20-year plan? And I skipped right to the end. I said, Gail, 20 years in, my goal at the very end of the day, dude, if we could get to 5 locations, then I think I would call that a massive success at the time of retirement. I was thinking I'd retire around 55, 60, somewhere around there, if I wanted to. That was my initial pro forma and business plan, 20 years to get to 5 locations. And here I am about to be at year 7 and we hit 5 locations. So a little faster than I thought it would go. But part of that's also skewed because during the pandemic, I started up my practice like 10 months before the pandemic hit. So yeah, there was no way I was starting extra locations with the weirdness of those like 3 years from 2020 to like 2024. It was so bizarre. So why? Why was there a discordance between where I wanted to go 20 years from now and where I'm at now? It's not because I lacked ambition. It's because I didn't know any better. I mean, yes, all my family's in business, but I talked to my grandfather, for example, when he was still alive. And, in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, it took him like 50 years to get 75 employees. He built up this empire, not overnight. He grinded the hell out of it, taking call on Christmas Day. My toilet is overflowing. He was a plumber and electrician and, trying to help people out for his entire career. There wasn't really anyone that's like the stuff that you look online that these AI companies go from 0 to $1 billion in like 10 months. That is the minority. That is not reality for most people that start up a business, for like 99.999% of people. So it wasn't because I lacked ambition. I just didn't know what could be possible. I think also because, I don't know about you guys, but in my training, I was like hammered into me to be just extremely uber conservative, just only do super conservative things to make sure you never do any harm. And I never want to do any harm, of course, to the patient. But when you're starting up a business, that's not conservative. That is this extremely high risk. It goes like antithesis of everything that is to practice medicine that I feel like I was trained to do. Be super conservative, slow, let things declare themselves if you're not sure. So, reality ended up obviously moving way faster than I could have ever dreamed. I looked at the mirror and just said, my demand is insane. I'm being booked out like 5 months in the future. I really can't just the only way I can make more money is by working 12, 10-hour days, whatever it may be. And I started working those 10-hour days, being like, okay, I'll do 10-hour days. And then I realized, man, my home life is really starting to suffer. I'm not seeing my wife. I just had a brand new baby. I went into primary care so that I'm not taking trauma call at like 2 a.m. in the morning. Look, if you love trauma call, I'm not hating on you, but this is the path I went to more lifestyle friendly. So as the word of mouth grew, as my team grew, then I just started to get and growing systems. And then once I started having systems, then I started realizing, okay, let me hire a PA. Let's see how that works. Oh shit, the PA worked out great. And now I'm dabbling in learning how to market. Okay, now that I know how to turn the faucet on, I know how to get that PA busy. Now it's moving beyond me. Now people are coming to my business. They're not just coming to, oh, you got to see Brad. He's the only one that could take good care of you. Then I decided to start the second location. Okay, now I learned how to find a location, learn how to navigate a lease. Yes, it's daunting. I can help you through it if you want. I'll leave a link below for consulting, but it's possible. And once you get those systems in place, you get the foundation, you get your standard operating procedures, you get everything lined up, And then once you get that, you just start rubber stamping them. It's not that hard. I think then once I started like looking at, oh, wow, I'm investing $1 into my practice and it prints out $50 for me a year or 2 years later, then it just kind of became, why should I buy a Lambo or buy something nice to make it look like I'm just killing it on paper? Why not invest that dollar so that I'll get $50 2 years from now and just keep rolling it into expanding the business? I don't live an extravagant lifestyle. And I think that now I have the luxury, or I'm about to have the luxury of saying, what do I want to do? Do I even want to see patients and practice medicine anymore? Do I want to just do the business side of things? Instead of like going around saying like, can I afford this stuff? Now I'm like, yeah, whatever, $5,000. Let's swing at it. Who cares? I'm forming the MSO. I'm doing the final steps this month and next month. That ended up being way more expensive than I thought. I mean, we're talking like 200 grand expensive, actually over that. But the point is that I'm willing to put those dollars to bat for me and say like, this could go to zero, but it could be great. Those 200 grand could pay me 50x that 200 grand if things go well. It might not. That's okay. That's business. But I think that I married that like super conservative, do no harm to the patients, but also had to divorce myself from that in business to say like, well, let's throw some money at this and let's see if we can help even more people grow my brand and grow my business. And the beautiful part, and famously, the beautiful part is, Jeff Bezos used to always say like, your margin, my opportunity. The beautiful part with mine is I have no debt. I have no private equity. I have no one else that's chopping off 20, 25%, maybe even 30% off the top so that they can pay their investors. So, the benefit that I have is I'm nimble. I don't have to pay 30% to any investors or service any debt. I can use all that 30% to just freaking grow, slam my foot on the gas, and try to open up even more locations. One of you guys already know that's watching me, we're working on something in Dallas. And another one of y'all already know we're working on something in San Antonio. Now I'm thinking even bigger and beyond that to say, okay, how big could this be? Because my wildest dream was I only could get to 5 locations. And we're there. 7 years in, I'll be at 5 locations. I think everyone's a little bit different. But for me, I think in the very beginning, that dream of 5 locations scared the hell out of me. I mean, I was insane at the very beginning and just so much anxiety. I was waking up at 3 a.m. checking my bank balance to be like, oh, okay, I have Wells Fargo. Most of the transactions will hit somewhere around like 3:30, 4 a.m. So then I just like my anxiety was building and I'd automatically wake up at like 4 a.m. being like, how much money hit the account today? That's not healthy. However, I didn't know how this was going to end up. And I had to manage that by trying to work out, trying not to drink any alcohol. That fear led to excitement as I started seeing like, wow, okay, we're starting to have $1,000 days and then $5,000 days and then $10,000 days and then $20,000 days and then $30,000 days. And it's just incredible to see it grow. You're supposed to, if you start a business, you're supposed to grow into bigger problems. You're supposed to grow into a team of managing things that's beyond you, if that's what you want to do. If you want to, again, do concierge and you want to do absolutely everything, that's cool. But, I saw a post when I started out that someone started a DPC and a concierge practice and they were trying to recruit someone and they were like, I'm out by 5 o'clock, probably 50% of the time. And I just remember thinking, holy crap, if you're seeing 5 patients a day and you're still not leaving by 5 o'clock, that's a systems problem, unless you want to do it. But that's a problem. You need to change things. And that's not the way I want to be. If I want to work really hard to grow my practice, I want to have freedom over either practicing medicine the way I want to, or just running the business, or a hybrid of both, which is what I want to do. Whatever your dream is, I could almost guarantee you that if you go down this pathway, and if you do it right, you learn how to get the foundation, you learn how to market. That's super important. How to market, your dream's going to be too small. You're going to have to dream bigger. And that's going to be just an amazing thing to look back and say like, wow, I thought we'd only get to 2 practices and here we are at 5. That's incredible. Don't over leverage yourself. Make sure that you have the money coming in. Don't take on debt if you don't have to, but dream bigger. Dream, how big could this possibly be? And then get a roadmap on how to get there. Who knows? Maybe you'll be like me. Maybe you'll set a 20-year plan and hit it in 5 years. Where's my next 5 years going to take me? Forming the MSO, that should be up in about 2 months. I know I had to drag my feet, but man, everything was so much more expensive than I thought. And I want to be cash flow positive. So It took a little longer, but I'll have an update on the MSO probably in January. I'll have a final update on everything formed. Once you go down this path, you'll realize you can do it, demand is real, and then you will have control over absolute every aspect of your destiny. So that's my story on how I should have dreamed even bigger. And my next 5 years, I hope we get to even 20, 30 locations or beyond. I'm going to hopefully continue to just hyper scale the hell out of this because I'm having too much fun doing it. All right, you guys, thank you all for following along. I guarantee you, think about dreaming bigger. And if you're stuck in, oh, you've got to do absolutely everything, you got to think like a business person. See one of my other videos about getting standard operating procedures, get a team, get out of the grind. You have to learn how to market, get other people to work for you. Otherwise, you can be working that same grind forever. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for following along.